Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start recording. At whatever point I do actually start this, welcome. This is basically just an exhibition on the fun things that I did with the combination of knowledge I got from learning about the rubber ducky from Hack 5 and adding that to some information I found on GitHub and also the application of its use on the Malduino provided by Seytonic. So this video is going to be pretty scrambled and pretty poorly organized, unfortunately. I didn't have a lot of time to prepare this. I may go back and make a cleaner, more well-edited version of it, but for now it's just going to be kind of rambly and a rough exhibition. So first and foremost, I'll show off just the prank script that I wrote. So essentially what this one will do, just so you know what's going to happen ahead of time, is when I plug this in, it's going to open up a couple of command prompt windows, color them differently, and put some messages on the screen to make it appear as though something evil is going on. It's then going to pause at a certain point and start opening specific user folders like the videos folder and the documents folder, etc., to really terrify them. And then at the end, it will sort of close off everything, do a couple of final messages, and then do a final "I'm done" message, essentially. And that's it. It doesn't actually do anything. It's just like a good example of, hey, you shouldn't leave your computer unlocked because this can happen. So I'll show this first. You can see I got the Malduino here. It's currently selected to, oh, sorry, autofocus isn't working well, but it's currently selected to all ones right now, which is all on. So that's where I got my script, and I'm just gonna go ahead and plug it into this guy over here. So we'll go ahead and you'll see what happens on my main screen. You can see we open the documents folder, videos folder, pictures folder, oh dear, downloads folder, good God. Uploading all the files to Imgur, planting a virus, yeah, you gotta watch out for those viruses. And then just a simple owned. Okay, so to the well-educated in the room that have been watching closely, they'll realize that nothing has actually happened from this, but it's kind of cool. The fun of this started happening when I discovered, I'll put some of these links below just of where I got these inspirations from, but first I saw some things about basically just running PowerShell script directly. I'm going to save a lot of time here and say this is not the right way to do it. There's a better way to do it, and I'm about to show you right now the better way to do this. So first and foremost, no PowerShell is coming through this. I'm gonna launch one of these other scripts that I wrote, and they're pretty much all the same, so you can consider the way that one of them is launched to be the way that all of them are launched. Shit, I think I just yanked on the ASIC there by mistake. I hope this thing's, I'm gonna let this run again just to make sure I didn't just completely ruin this thing, because I just like, okay, yeah, I think it's okay. I just like threw my fingernail under the ASIC there. I thought I was grabbing somewhere on the PCB, but nope. Grabbed the ASIC like right on the solder points. I just wanted to make sure I didn't completely destroy it. So we can watch the script run again. Okay, we're owned again, and once that thing is all flashing like that, we know we know we're good to pull it out. This is not the best spot to insert this. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it in this. I try to figure out what a good idea would be for this as far as the video, but I actually have another one right next to it, right there. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna show you what my normal scripts look like, and I'm gonna go ahead and check, make sure I grab one of the correct ones here. Yeah, so reverse shell, that should be the best example one. So all this is actually gonna do is it's gonna pop open a PowerShell script window, and when it does that, it's gonna write one single PowerShell script line. And what that will do is in that single line, it will download and run whatever PowerShell code exists at whatever endpoint I point it to. And it just so happens the endpoint I point it to is pretty much as short as you can get version of this. The only thing I could do to make this crazier would be if I could somehow get in the way of the DNS provider and give myself a really short username or a really short host name, so I didn't have to do a full IP address. But still, this is not going to work because I haven't configured everything. I'll go through showing the configuration steps in a bit, but for now I just want to show how short this thing is when it runs, just for a demo. So for a comparison here, that's it. It's done. Any PowerShell script you want to run, if you're on the same network as this guy, that's it. That is the only interaction you will see. And that one in particular was for the reverse shell script. And it's based off of, not exactly, but it's based off of the rubber ducky script that was shown off in the Hack 5 example. So I know that was pretty short, pretty exciting. So I'm gonna dig into what exactly is done here. So first and foremost, the actual PowerShell itself. I mean the actual script itself that just ran. We will look at and pull it onto the screen. That's it. That's what just ran on the Malduino. So make this look a little bit better so it's on one line like that. Okay, this is not not turning out quite how I wanted it to. All right, there we go. Good enough. It's a very long line, but this IP address obviously is not IP address. I have this set up with some funny scripts that replace this string with your actual IP address in the moment, so you could do like really quick setup for this. But basically, this is it. So I have good, nice, friendly names for all of my PowerShell scripts, but in the end, I have them as just a single letter because A, then you have no idea what the script does or what its purpose is, and B, much shorter. So less characters to type for the Malduino is faster. So that's it. Basically, this line gets punched in to a run window, and the good thing about this is this happens before the UAC prompt. So I can take a nice, like, let's say I know for a fact I'm working with some kind of shoddy computers. I'll add like maybe a 1 second delay here, but then I can add like a 10-second delay here and just make sure I have 10 seconds to allow the payload to hit. So yeah, anyways, this is pretty cool. So this is all that runs here, and the reason it works is actually because what you can do is, and right around now I will throw the video from the other laptop that I'm working with on screen so that you can see what I'm doing here. But essentially I have a Kali Linux running on this network somewhere, and it can be anywhere on this network, which is super cool. As long as it's on the same network, and as long as, like, I don't know, these protocols are not blocked, or specific ports that are used here are not blocked, then we're all good. Why do I have download happening right now? Let me just check real quick. I need to see something. Oh, okay. It's because of my phone. It's like there's constant. All right, let me just show you, because this always concerns me. This should be a big red flag. I have a program called Bitmeter. It keeps track of your download, basically. And this is how you know if something is running that's using internet. This is actually tracking the network adapter. So it's seeing that over the network adapter, even though it's on the local network, there's this constant traffic from my camera over here, which is just a phone, but set up as a webcam for right now. Okay, back to business here. So on the other screen, we have this. I don't know how well this mic is going to work. I might have to redo this. I'll try and do it well enough. Okay, so on this other screen, I've got, first of all, this directory tree. Flying pigeons is what I named it for no particular reason. But if I cat this, helpful, these are the two commands I'm going to be working with. So one of them is netcat listen and a port. So what this does is this will say, hey, I'm waiting for netcat to call back to me, essentially. And you know, it's probably more helpful to look at the PowerShell first. So let's do that. Okay, and I think lead me home. I do. This is just I don't ask me why I did this. This was inspired by, I think, Mr. Robot. Yeah, Mr. Robot inspired this, but I named all of these PowerShell scripts after songs. And then just so you can see, these are the actual PowerShell scripts that are downloaded and run. A, B, C, D, Z. These are just like basically for my use, so I know which one is which, but it's not specific. Okay, so if we just cat this, lead me home, you'll see it's not the prettiest formatting here, but somewhere in all of this mess, yeah, here we go. We got netsh, wlan show profile, and we set some parameters here after this. I'll be honest, I don't actually totally remember. Wait, was it? Let me just make sure.
You know what? I think I found it. Let me just cat the old one. Yeah, just to see. Yeah, okay. So this is the old one. You can see a lot messier, but essentially the idea was the same here. That you eventually get to this point where you run this line, and the point of this is that, shit, I don't even remember. I'll be honest, I did this so long ago, I don't even remember what this does. A lot of this was copy pasted from. No. Lead me home. This is not right, because.
Yeah. Okay. This added. This other stuff before here is all garbage. I use this to do some testing with another thing. This changes some Windows stuff, basically to protect the USB drive before you plug it in with all this nasty software on it, so Windows doesn't freak out. This is the important bit. Okay, so essentially to wrap up what's actually planned to do here with this PowerShell, and I will hopefully show that. I might take some digging and reorganizing to get it to work, but it opens up a netcat socket, essentially. So we set up on this side, we're like, hey, I want to have a shell, and I'm looking at a specific endpoint and waiting for someone to come in there. And then what this script will do is that script will basically complete the other side of that handshake. So now I'll try and get this set up so that it works correctly. I did, everything is based around my network drive, and I did recently make a change with that, but hopefully everything, I can get everything working, even if I have to kind of manually copy things here. So I'll probably play some music in the background while I do this, but essentially the important thing to know here is that these PowerShell scripts are the root of all of this. So that if we can host these PowerShell scripts on the network somewhere, then force this computer to download and run it without it being visible, then we're in. So first, I'm gonna, actually, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna, because I love how cool this is and how it looks, I'm just gonna go ahead and install on my phone a terminal emulator. And then actually I'm gonna catch this finally from my phone rather than from the Linux box. So you can see, you can literally, I mean, anything. So first off, I need to make sure we got a root. Can I? Wow. Okay, it just works. Hello? So 1 second. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, why? This is too big. Yeah. I have to write myself notes like this because otherwise I'll actually just can't remember. Okay, so I need to know what my IP is for my phone. That's the important one for configuring, and I will just manually set these in the PowerShell scripts for now, and I'll figure everything else out later. I think I'm 170. Here, I'll pull this up because this is cool to watch. I think it's in documents. Yeah, it is in documents. SCR. Pretty neat, huh? That's my phone. Okay. It's not ideal formatting here. Maybe it looks a little better if we rotate. You can see. Yeah, it looks much better. Can actually see. God, this formatting is so okay, there it is. Trying to find the IP address. Yeah, WLAN 170. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is all I need to do on my phone right now, and I'm gonna leave this up the whole time. We do nc-l-p 4323, and that's my go-to. I just randomly picked it. So that my phone is now just gonna sit here and wait forever until this why do I have two of these? Let's get rid of that, because you can actually already see this. I'll scooch this over just a smidgen. Okay. This is just going to wait for an eternity until we get a connection. So now my only responsibility is to make sure the PowerShell script is working properly, and then edit the Malduino script to be correct with the right IP, and then it should all work, and you can see the final result of this. So over here we do I'm just gonna edit the mini ones. We'll do cat A. Oops, cat A. This should be lead me home. Wait. Oh, that's right. So A is definitely not. And lead me home, I don't think that's right. I think I got something slightly wrong with this, but that's okay. I will be able to do this either way, but just maybe some of the information I said about the specific scripts being certain ones might not be correct. But either way, I mean, so the only thing we need is we're going to open TCP client. This is the thing right here. This is the IP address that that changes, and I'll show you just so you can see it. I'm not going to fix it now, and I'm not going to redo it now, but essentially what this does is it goes through and it looks for where I've written IP and port in here. I'll show you how I did that. Wish you were here, that's it. That's it, of course, wish you were here, because it's like, I want you to be here, and with a reverse shell, you can be here, of course. Okay, so. All right, oddly enough, this is not right, so this is supposed to actually, yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, this is not set up correctly right now, but this is supposed to just be those keywords, and it goes through and replaces them, and blah, blah, blah. But in any case, I do not care right now. This is not important. So that should be all set. B should be fixed. The only thing left to do on this side is we go back a few directories to hosted, and we gotta do that that other command that I have set here, which is and what that will do is this will basically, in this folder, you can see document root is root flying pigeons hosted. In this folder, it will host all of those files. Now, actually, I probably should have checked the Malduino script, and I will right now. Yeah, it's actually looking for the file to be right there. So I'm gonna instead go cd ps/mini like I was, because that's actually right. And then we'll do host it. Okay, boom. So now the only thing left is to make sure that whatever is running on the Malduino here has the right IP address. So I will now yank this out. Plug this in. You gotta be really careful with SD cards. Do not fuck with them. Pretend they're the USB drives of yesteryear. Where everything has to be very specifically handled. You do not let anything go. 192.168.1. Now this needs to be the IP address of our host. So this is 1.108. We'll close that. We will eject. And then slide it out. Plug you back into your master. I forgot that this guy has the has the spring. I just yanked it out. Okay, so then I think if everything is running correctly, I'll pull this back up as the main screen so it can be visible. So what you should expect to see here is on my Kali Linux, which I have right here, we should expect to see this. You know what? I'm gonna make this prettier. Can never remember what command that is. Okay, what you should see over here is the as soon as the PowerShell script runs on my main screen, we should see this download over here, and then pretty much immediately afterwards, we should see owned pop up on my phone here, indicating to us that the Netcat socket has been opened and that we're now basically being given a root shell. And the biggest like hurrah of this is that we actually won't see any indication of this on the host PC, except if we check in the task manager. So before we get started, I'm going to sort here, expose all the nasty programs I run. But what you'll notice is there's no PowerShell in here, right? We have Overwolf OP would be right around here, no PowerShell here. And same in the upper menu. I actually don't remember where it goes, but you can see paint, RuneLight, yeah, all of this. It's not showing up anywhere. Actually, it might even be down here when it goes. You can see all these console window hosts for shit I got running, but no PowerShell. However, that's the only indication that this is running. So fingers crossed. I probably effed something up. May take 1 or 2 tries, but here we go. This is attempt number 1. Let's make sure my screen is good. We will plug in. Ready, set. Oh shit. Okay, so it looks like it worked. So now the cool thing is, again, we have no indication that anything has happened. I mean, I didn't show you before, but there's no additional icons down here. Our indication, which of course I know about, is if we look right. Okay, so it's not here. It's a good thing I showed over here. That's interesting. I don't even see it. It's got to be, yeah, Windows PowerShell. There, that's why. It's because it's Windows PowerShell. This is it. This is our reverse shell running right now, but there's no indication on the host machine that this has been done. And I mean, you saw it. It was very, very brief. There's practically no time at all. I will just do this once again real quick so that you can see. If I exit, that should close it. And notice when I exited, that PowerShell instance went away, but no visible reference that this has happened. So once again, I'm just going to show, I'm gonna put this command in. Jeez, that looks real bad. Control C, yeah. Can I do clear? Yes, beautiful. Okay, so now we're doing the same thing again with the Netcat list, and sorry, this visual is all messed up. I don't know why it doesn't display properly, but whatever. And I'll do the same thing again. So I'll unplug it, right? And we plug it back in. And watch, this is it. That's it. That's it. Only indication that anything has happened. And now I walk off with my USB. Nobody knows anything has happened. And to prove to you that this is indeed working, let's what's fun? Well, okay, just the classics, you know. Oh, hello. We do like I think you can do like piping this stuff to Notepad. I'm not sure if this works or not. Not exactly. Okay, I got access denied for this. I'm not really sure. Maybe because it's already running. I don't know. I don't know exactly how this works. I probably should have looked up ahead of time. But you could do, for example, I have too many terrible ideas for what could be done in this moment. I'll do what I always did back in the day when I wanted to have a wholesome prank. And okay, well, you didn't see it because I had indeed pulled up on the other screen. I will here. I'll leave an empty tab and leave this pulled up. I'll just, you can see, run the. Oh, that didn't work. Yeah, so the up thing did not work, but. So you can force just random web pages to start opening up on their computer. Obviously, there's much more nefarious purposes to this than just, you know, pulling up Neopets, but this is super cool. And then the best part, I love this. When you're done, goodbye. It's like it was never there, because the PowerShell goes to your RAM. You don't even download the script. So my obfuscation of the scripts pretty much isn't even necessary, as far as my understanding. Now, I could be wrong about this. I could be wrong about how it works, but as far as I understand, never even ends up on the system. This is like as dangerous and vulnerable as it gets. Now, granted, this is on a system that has UAC disabled, so that's one layer of security that you have to get through. It has the admin account logged in, so that's another layer of security. You don't have to type a username and password. But, you know, possibilities here are quite intriguing, and I thought this was a pretty interesting application and understanding of the Malduino. I'm not sure how many people really know about this, like, very simple section of code relating to the download this PowerShell and run it code, and like really understand how it works and can like use it well. So I just, in addition to that, I wanted to kind of show off what I was able to do in my testing, and also share that bit about this basically invisible PowerShell running. So yeah, if there are any questions, feel free to leave them below. I'm very responsive with stuff because I'm not actually a YouTuber. I just like to share fun stuff. So if you have any questions, you'll probably have no trouble getting a hold of me. Yeah, if you're interested in more kinds of scripts, I don't know, look all over GitHub. There's a ton. I have a couple more that I did, but they're not really anything spectacular. This one in particular was kind of the culmination of several different attempts of doing things. There's some cool ones, like opening like a file dumping socket, so you can essentially dump whatever files you want anywhere specific on someone's computer you want to. Stuff like that. But I didn't really get too deep into that because as soon as I really started diving into this side of it, I you know, to cover all of my bases, I decided it was worthwhile to look into all of the I was worth looking into all of the file safety stuff, so removing all the metadata and making sure that there's no way to trace the files back to your specific PC and blah blah blah. And that was very complicated, and the more I looked into that, the less I wanted to really dive deep into it. But overall, this was a really interesting project. I really enjoyed playing around with it, and I will probably one day be really interested enough to just dig into this again and start messing around with it and doing fun stuff. But for now, this is pretty much what I got. So if anyone's got questions, like I said, hit me up. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.